Welcome to paradise, where emerald mountains rise from turquoise waves, waterfalls crash through jungles, and sunsets set the cliffs ablaze. This is Kauai. Hawaii's wildest island, and in just 5 epic days, you'll kayak through sacred rivers, hike through the legendary Kalalau Trail, dive into canyon vistas, and unwind on beaches that feel like the edge of the world. Best time to visit. Kauai is at its best in spring and fall. Think April to June or September to early November. Fewer crowds, perfect beach weather, and lush green landscapes with average temps around 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius. Summer is dry and sunny but packed, while winter brings rain to the North Shore and big waves. Great for surfers and whale watchers, not so great for swimming. Most parks and attractions stay open year-round, but some trails may close after heavy rain, especially in winter. For the perfect mix of weather and peace, aim for May or October. Airport tips. Once you've picked your travel season, it's time to land in paradise. Kauai's main airport is Lihue, located on the island's east side. It's a small, no-fuss terminal that's quick to get through but limited on amenities. There's no direct public transport, and taxis and Ubers are few and far between. Renting a car at the airport is the smartest move, and booking ahead is a must. Driving to Poipu takes about 30 minutes, while Princeville on the North Shore is just over an hour. If you skip the rental, a taxi to Poipu can run 60 to 80 USD and even more to the North Shore. On Kauai, having your own wheels isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. Where to stay? After arriving and securing your rental car, choosing where to stay is your next step. And on Kauai, it largely depends on the experience you seek. The South Shore, particularly Poipu, is renowned for its consistent sunshine, calm beaches, and proximity to dining and activities. Budget accommodations, such as guest houses or vacation rentals, typically range from 300 to 400 USD per night. Mid-range hotels are priced between 500 and 700 USD, while luxury resorts like the Grand Hyatt Kauai can exceed 900 USD per night. In contrast, the North Shore, encompassing Princeville and Hanalei, offers lush landscapes and dramatic coastlines, ideal for those interested in hiking and exploring nature. Here, budget options start around 250 to 300 USD per night. Mid-range accommodations fall between 400 and 600 USD, and upscale resorts, such as the One Hotel Hanalei Bay, can command rates upwards of 1,000 USD per night. Both regions provide excellent bases for a 5-day itinerary. It ultimately hinges on whether you prefer the sunny, accessible South Shore or the verdant, adventurous North Shore. How to get around. Kauai isn't built for public transit. You'll need a car, plain and simple. There's no island-wide bus system for visitors, and ride shares are unreliable outside of Lihue. Without a rental, you'll miss beaches, trails, and everything in between. Car rentals start around 60 to 80 USD per day, depending on season and availability. Gas is pricey, but parking is usually free at most beaches and trailheads. If you're planning a scenic drive up Waimea Canyon or along the North Shore, a standard car works fine. No need for a 4x4 unless you're heading off pavement, which most visitors don't. For 5 days, a car isn't just helpful, it's essential to making the island truly yours. Day 1. Sky views and South Shore vibes. Morning. Breakfast in Lihue. If you're starting your trip with a relaxed morning, Aloha Roastery in Lihue is the go-to for a classic cafe vibe. This minimalist coffee shop is known for its smooth iced oat lattes and flaky pain au chocolat, quick, light, and made with care. A pastry and coffee combo usually comes in under 10 USD, light, fast, and just right for the road ahead. Prefer to jump straight into island flavor? Just minutes from the airport, Loaia Fish Company is a local favorite for fresh poke bowls. Whether you go for the classic shoyu ahi or spicy mayo, it's a bold first bite of Kauai. Bowls range from 10 to 15 USD depending on size and toppings. Late morning, helicopter tour over Kauai. Now it's time to experience Kauai from above, an island so wild and remote that some of its most breathtaking landscapes can only be seen by air. A helicopter tour here isn't just a thrill, it's a front row seat to nature's private masterpiece. You'll soar past the knife-edged cliffs of the Na Pali coast, hover beside the thundering Manawaiopuna Falls, and drift over the rust-colored gorges of Waimea Canyon. Whether you choose a doors-on or doors-off ride, the views are nothing short of surreal. Flights last about 45 to 60 minutes and typically depart from Lihue. Prices range from $300 to $400 USD per person, depending on the company and flight style. Insider tip: book this for the first half of your trip. Helicopter tours are weather dependent, and scheduling early gives you a better chance to rebook if skies don't cooperate. Lunch in Lihue. After landing, it's the perfect time to recharge with something fresh, and Lihue delivers. You've got a few great options, all within easy reach. At the Greenery Cafe, the avocado toast comes stacked and colorful, while the vegan breakfast burrito is packed with flavor. It's a go-to for locals looking for something clean and filling. Meals here usually run around $9 to $11 USD. Craving something heartier without slowing down? Aloha Craft Cafe's Craft Club sandwich hits the spot. Layered, toasty, and just the right amount of indulgent. The sandwich comes to around 12 to 15 USD, layered and toasted, and it sounds exactly satisfying. Wherever you stop, this lunch is quick, energizing, and exactly what you need before heading back out under the sun. Afternoon, beer tasting at KAUAI Beer Company. After lunch, swing by KAUAI Beer Company, a chill local hangout in the heart of Lihue where the brews are small batch, the vibe is easy, and the taps change with the island's mood. Grab a flight and try a crisp lager, a juicy IPA, or their popular passion fruit sour, bright, tart, and tropical. A full tasting experience usually runs between 8 and 12 USD, and it's the perfect palate reset before the beach. Swim and relax at Shipwreck Beach. Once you've made it down to Poipu, drop your towel at Shipwreck Beach, a long, dramatic stretch of sand framed by volcanic cliffs and rolling surf. The waves here are bold, the breeze constant, and the setting pure kawaii. This isn't a sleepy bay, it's wild, open, and full of energy. Take a swim if the conditions are right, watch surfers carve through the break, or just lie back and let the salt air do its thing. It's the perfect spot to stretch out and stay until the sun starts to dip. Insider tip: walk to the east end of the beach and you'll find a cliffside trail with epic ocean views. If you time it right, you might catch locals cliff jumping into the sea as the golden light hits the water. Evening, dinner at Holo Holo Grill. End the day with a relaxed open-air dinner at Holo Holo Grill, located inside Koloa Landing Resort in Poipu. This casual spot is known for serving Hawaiian comfort food in a laid-back setting. Go for the BC's fish and chips or the classic Loco Moco, both hearty favorites perfect after a day in the sun. Most entrees range from 15 to 20 USD, and the cocktail menu leans local, strong, and unfussy. No need to dress up, just unwind, eat well, and let the day slow to a warm finish. Day 2. Na Pali Coast and Canyon Colors. Morning, breakfast stop on the way to Port Allen. Start the day with a scenic drive west toward Port Allen Marina, where a full morning of ocean adventure awaits. But first, fuel up properly. On your way, stop in the sleepy town of Hanapepe for breakfast at Midnight Bear Breads, a cozy artisan bakery known for its sourdough croissants, breakfast sandwiches, and strong, no-nonsense coffee. It's quick, local, and just 10 minutes from the harbor. Perfect timing for a grab-and-go bite before check-in. Pastries and coffee usually total around 15 USD, perfectly timed for a pre-tour bite. Late morning, Na Pali Coast raft and snorkel adventure. Once you check in at Port Allen Marina, it's time to trade the road for open water. This isn't your average boat ride, this is the Na Pali Coast, and you'll be exploring it up close from the deck of a high-speed raft. You'll skim across razor-sharp cliffs, cruise into sea caves when conditions allow, and pass beneath waterfalls that plunge straight into the sea. Dolphins often ride the wake, and if you're lucky, you might even spot a turtle or two gliding beneath the surface. Depending on ocean conditions, the tour may include a snorkeling stop near a remote beach or reef. Tours last around 4.5 to 5 hours, so expect to return salt-sprayed, sun-warmed, and wide-eyed. Insider tip: Bring reef-safe sunscreen, a waterproof bag, and a light jacket. The wind can surprise you once the boat picks up speed. Late afternoon, lunch in Waimea. After the tour, head west to Waimea town for a well-earned bite. This is where the locals go for fast, flavorful food. No frills, just island comfort on a plate. Grab kalabi short ribs or Korean chicken from Hokus food truck, or go for spicy garlic shrimp at the shrimp station. Coconut Corner serves up refreshing smoothies and Hawaiian barbecue bowls, and Big Save Market is a solid stop for a quick poke bowl to go. Expect to spend around 10 to 16 USD depending on what you order. Late afternoon, scenic drive through Waimea Canyon. After lunch, the road climbs. As you leave the coast behind, the landscape shifts from palms to pine, and the red earth of Waimea Canyon begins to rise around you like something out of a Western movie. If that movie were set on Mars. Known as the Grand Canyon of the Pacific, Waimea Canyon stretches 14 miles long and over 3,500 feet deep. Drive up Route 550, where each bend opens to new angles of cliffs, waterfalls, and valleys cut by centuries of rain and lava. Pull over at scenic stops like Waimea Canyon Lookout, where you'll get the iconic wide-angle view of Waipo'o Falls. Continue upward to Kalalau Lookout and Pu'uokila, where the views shift from canyon walls to the vast green expanse of Kalalau Valley meeting the sea. It's a drive made for late light, when the colors burn deeper and the shadows paint the cliffs in slow-moving layers. Early evening, rest and swim at Salt Pond Beach Park. After the high cliffs and winding roads, Salt Pond Beach is where the day exhales. Located just outside Hanapepe, this protected crescent is framed by lava rock outcroppings that create calm, swimmable pools, even when the ocean gets rough. It's a favorite among locals for its mellow vibe and golden hour glow. Lay out a towel, take a dip, or just stretch out and let the trade winds cool you down as the sun begins to drop behind the water. Insider tip. Walk past the main beach to the far right side near the salt flats. It's quieter, the sand is softer, and you'll catch a wider angle on the sunset with far fewer people in your frame. Evening. Dinner at KAUAI Island Brewery and Grill. As the sky fades to orange, make your way toward Port Allen Harbor, where KAUAI Island Brewery and Grill offers the perfect no-rush close to the day. Perched just above the marina, this local favorite blends island charm with pub comfort. Nothing fancy, just good food, cold beer, and that wind-blown, sun-drenched feeling that only comes after a full day outdoors. Try the grilled fish sandwich, coconut shrimp, or their signature island burger. Most mains range from 15 to 22 USD, and the rotating taps keep things local and lively. It's the kind of place where everything slows down just enough to let the day settle in. Day 3. Sunrise Trails and South Shore Strolls. Morning. Sunrise at Shipwreck Beach. Start the day early and drive to Shipwreck Beach, where the cliffs catch the first light before anything else on the island does. This isn't a quiet, glassy bay, it's bold, raw, and alive. The waves crash hard, the wind moves fast, and the colors come quickly. Orange against the lava rock, light dancing on rough water. It's a local favorite spot to watch the sun climb out of the ocean, and if you're up for it, you can even scramble up the rocky bluff at the east end of the beach for a wild panoramic view. Just bring sandals with grip, the rocks aren't as friendly as the view. Hike the Mahaulepu Heritage Trail. From the edge of Shipwreck Beach, follow the coastal path east and you'll find yourself on the Mahaulepu Heritage Trail, a rugged, windswept stretch of coastline where time feels slow and the landscape feels untouched. The trail hugs limestone cliffs and passes tide pools, lava rock formations, and even a hidden cave if you keep going far enough. It's not strenuous, but it's exposed. Bring water, sun protection, and something you don't mind getting dusty. You don't need to hike the full length. Even a 30 to 45 minute out and back gives you wild views of the ocean, native plants, and the occasional honu gliding just offshore. Insider tip. You might spot wild goats along the cliffs. They're shy, sure-footed, and quietly iconic to this part of the island. Late morning, brunch at Little Fish Coffee. After your hike, head into Poipu for a well-earned brunch at Little Fish Coffee. This cheerful cafe is a local favorite for its colorful smoothie bowls, strong iced lattes, and toasted bagel sandwiches stacked just right. There's usually a line, but it moves fast, and the shaded garden seating is worth the short wait. The vibe is casual, tropical, and exactly what you want after a salty, sunlit morning. Whether it's a smoothie bowl or a bagel sandwich, you're looking at 10 to 15 USD for a fresh, fulfilling start. Afternoon, souvenir shopping at the shops at Kukui'ula. Once you're refueled, stroll through the shops at Kukui'ula, a breezy open-air center filled with boutique shops, local art galleries, and handcrafted island goods. It's the perfect spot to pick up meaningful souvenirs. Think locally made soaps, woven bags, hand-thrown pottery, or small-batch coffee beans. The setting is calm, leafy, and beautifully landscaped, with shaded walkways and hidden corners that make browsing feel like part of the experience. Insider tip: check out the farmer-style pop-up stands that sometimes set up along the main walkway in the afternoon, especially on Wednesdays when the center hosts a small market featuring Kauai-grown produce and local treats. Early evening, sunset at Lauai Beach. As the afternoon light begins to soften, make your way to Lauai Beach, one of Poipu's quieter shoreline gems. It's a narrow strip of sand tucked between lava rocks just steps from the beach house restaurant and perfectly angled for a glowing South Shore sunset. The waves roll in steadily, surfers drift along the reef break, and the golden light hits just right as it reflects off the tide pools. It's the kind of spot where you won't need a plan, just a towel, a camera, and a little time. Insider tip: head to the grassy area just across from the beach for the best unobstructed views. It's a local sunset secret that most visitors walk right past. Evening, dinner at the beach house. After sunset, step right across the street to the Beach House Restaurant, a South Shore favorite that pairs fresh seafood with front-row ocean views. As the waves roll in beneath your table and the last light fades over the water, this isn't just dinner, it's an experience. The menu leans local and elegant. Start with the Mai Tai or lychee martini, then dive into seared ahi, miso-glazed butterfish, or their signature macadamia nut-crusted catch. Plates here are crafted with detail, and the flavors match the view. Most mains fall between 50 and 70 USD. Day 4, North Shore Escape. Morning, coastal drive to Kauai's wild north. Start your morning in Poipu and hit the road early for a day that takes you to Kauai's wild, waterfall-draped North Shore. The drive follows the island's east coast through Wailua and Kapa'a, slowly shifting from beach towns to towering cliffs and misty ridgelines. It takes just under 2 hours with stops, but the views are constant. Oceans on your right, lush mountains on your left, and roadside fruit stands popping up just when you're ready to pull over. Breakfast at Java Kai in Kapa'a. About halfway to the North Shore, take a break at Kapa'a and grab breakfast at Java Kai, a vibrant local favorite where the cold brew flows strong and the smoothie bowls come piled high with island fruit. The vibe is laid back and colorful with shaded outdoor tables and surf-down energy. Breakfast here usually ranges from 10 to 15 USD, fresh, fast, and fueled by cold brew. Insider tip: just north of Kapa'a, keep an eye out for roadside coconut stands. Most are simple: a cooler, a machete, and a handwritten sign. If you spot one, pull over. Fresh coconut water doesn't get more local than this. Late morning, stop at Hanalei Valley Lookout. As the road climbs past Princeville, pull over at the Hanalei Valley Lookout. A quick stop, but one of the most iconic views on the island. Below you, a patchwork of taro fields stretches across the valley floor, broken by a winding river and framed by mist-covered mountains. It's one of those scenes that feels like it hasn't changed in 100 years. Spend a few minutes here just soaking it in. You'll know exactly why people pull over every time. Afternoon, explore Hanalei Town. Once you reach Hanalei, park the car and slow down. The town runs on its own rhythm. Set between towering green cliffs and the edge of the bay, Hanalei is all charm. Surf shops, handmade jewelry, art galleries, boutique clothing, and a general store that feels more like a time capsule. Stroll the boardwalk, grab a second coffee, browse local crafts, or just people watch from a shaded bench. There's no rush here, and that's exactly the point. Lunch in Hanalei. Once you're ready for a bite, Hanalei has plenty of casual spots that hit the mark without trying too hard. Grab a table at Calypso Island Bar and Grill for island-style burgers, tacos, or fresh fish, or head to Hanalei Gourmet, a laid-back spot inside an old schoolhouse serving hearty sandwiches and crisp salads. You'll find most plates priced between $15 and $20 USD, simple, satisfying, and just right for this no-rush town. Relax at Hanalei Bay. After lunch, head down to Hanalei Bay, where the mountains meet the sea and the pace slows down even further. The beach stretches in a perfect curve, backed by green cliffs and waterfalls that tumble down from somewhere you can't quite see. Swim if the water's calm, walk the shoreline, or just lie back and watch surfers glide in with the tide. It's not the rushed kind of beach, it's the kind that invites you to stay longer than you planned. Late afternoon, snorkeling, lounging, and sunset at Tunnels Beach. As the light starts to shift, make your way west to Tunnels Beach, where jagged cliffs rise behind you and reef-protected waters stretch out in front. This is one of Kauai's most beloved beaches, not just for the scenery, but for what it feels like to be there. Snorkel if the water's clear, float in the shallows, or just stretch out on the sand and watch the sky change. As golden hour rolls in, the beach glows and the cliffs turn to amber. It's the kind of place where everything slows down without trying. Insider tip. On your way out of Hanalei, stop at Wishing Well Shave Ice. Their cold brew and rainbow shave ice are local favorites and the perfect pre-beach treat. Evening, dinner in Hanalei. Wrap up the day with your dinner back in Hanalei, where the town lights up just enough to keep its glow. For casual island vibes and live music, grab a table at Tahiti Nui, a local institution with tiki drinks, Kalua pork plates, and a no-rush attitude. Prefer something a bit quieter? Head to the Dolphin, set along the river, where the focus is on fresh seafood and peaceful views. Mains typically range from $25 to $40 USD, and the atmosphere in both places feels like the kind of evening you wish you could take home with you. Day 5. Coastal views and east side vibes. Morning, Kilauea Lighthouse and Wildlife Refuge. Begin your final day in Kauai with a short, peaceful drive east to the Kilauea Lighthouse and Wildlife Refuge. Perched high on a bluff where seabirds glide over breaking waves and the Pacific stretches endlessly into the horizon. The 1913 lighthouse still stands watch, but it's the setting, wild cliffs, wind, and open ocean that makes this stop unforgettable. Entry is $10 USD per adult, but the panoramic views and the quiet magic of the place make it more than worth it. Late morning, breakfast at Kilauea Bakery. Just a few minutes from the lighthouse, tucked inside the Konglong Market Center, you'll find Kilauea Bakery, a hidden gem that feels more local than touristy. The scent of sourdough and roasted garlic hits you before you even reach the door. Come for the fresh baked pastries, breakfast bagels, or the occasional slice of warm pizza if you're craving something savory. Grab a coffee, find a shady table in the courtyard, and ease into the day. From a light pastry to a full sandwich, breakfast typically falls between $8 and $15 USD. Afternoon, explore east side beaches. After breakfast, continue south along the coast and spend the early afternoon exploring some of Kauai's lesser-known east side beaches. First up is Larson's Beach, a quiet, underdeveloped stretch with a short trail leading to soft sand and turquoise water. It's not great for swimming, but perfect for a peaceful walk. Further down, Donkey Beach offers a wide, scenic shoreline framed by ironwood trees. If the conditions are right, this is a solid place to swim or just lie out and watch the waves roll in. Wrap it up at Kealia Beach, where you'll usually find surfers on one end and calmer waters on the other. It's a local favorite for sunbathing, beach strolls, or catching the breeze under a palm. Insider tip. Donkey Beach isn't marked. Look for the bike path access sign along the road and a small parking pullout. It's easy to miss, which is exactly why it stays quiet. Late afternoon, lunch in Kapa'a. By the time you roll into Kapa'a town, the vibe has shifted again. Colorful shops, surfboard racks, and the smell of grilled fish drifting from roadside cafes. Head to the local Kauai, a laid-back spot known for its poke bowls, island tacos, and stacked burgers served with a side of aloha. The setting is casual and central, perfect for a quick bite before browsing the town or heading toward the beach one last time. Portions are generous and most dishes fall somewhere between 15 and 20 USD. Early evening, shopping in Kapa'a Town. Kapa'a doesn't try to impress, it just shows up with color, character, and a little bit of everything. One minute you're stepping into a surf shack stacked with retro teas, the next you're flipping through island cookbooks in a slow-spinning ceiling fan breeze. These are boutiques with bold prints, hand-woven baskets, ukulele shops, and plenty of spots selling handmade things you didn't expect but won't leave without. It's messy in the best way and full of moments that feel more like browsing through someone's story than a store. Evening, dinner at Lava Lava Beach Club. End your time on Kauai with dinner in the sand at Lava Lava Beach Club, where tables sit just steps away from the shoreline and tiki torches flicker as the breeze rolls in off the ocean. The atmosphere is pure island, casual, open air, and designed for lingering. Order a Mai Tai, watch the waves, and dig into something unfussy but unforgettable, like the coconut shrimp, grilled local fish, or Kahlua pork sliders. As the sun disappears and as the lights come on, you'll realize this is exactly how a trip on Kauai should end. Mains usually sit between 25 to 35 USD range, with enough shareable plates to keep the table lively. 5 days in Kauai, and you've covered coastlines, canyons, and quiet corners most people never reach. If this guide helped bring it to life, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your next adventure starts here. Mahalo for joining us, and safe travels.